Hey everyone, this is C Crypto Daily Buzz. Today is February 21st, 2026. This channel summarizes the most important crypto news for investors in Southeast Asia, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, and OFW communities using crypto and remittance every day. Let's go through 3 key stories you should know today. A major CIO says Bitcoin hasn't hit bottom yet and warns investors to stay patient. First, Bitcoin sentiment. Bitwise CIO Matt Hougan said the sharp drop from $72,000 to $60,000 earlier this month was painful. But in his view, it was not the final bottom, and he expects more big swings ahead. He reminded investors that Bitcoin historically moves in 4-year boom and bust cycles, and that even in those cycles, the presence of large institutions may reduce typical drawdowns from around 80% to something closer to 50–60%. His message is that institutions and retail behave differently. When one side is selling, the other can be buying, so volatility will stay high, even if long-term adoption continues. My take for Southeast Asia investors is simple. Big players are not promising a smooth lineup. If you are using leverage, these warnings should make you more cautious about oversizing trades. If you are spot only, it's a reminder that long-term still includes deep corrections. Vitalik says he has no intention of letting Ethereum slowly die and is planning radical upgrades over the next 5 years. Second, Ethereum's future. Recently, some commentators argued that the current Ethereum chain should be left to fade out while a completely new network is built from scratch. But Vitalik Buterin strongly rejected that idea. He wrote that he has ambitious plans to rebuild Ethereum from the inside through radical upgrades over the next 5 years, and that AI-assisted coding and verification could even speed up that roadmap. This means the core developers intend to transform the existing chain rather than abandon it, keeping compatibility with today's DeFi, staking, and tokenization ecosystems. From my perspective, this doesn't erase short-term price weakness, but it's an important signal for Southeast Asia investors who worry, what if ETH disappears? The people who design Ethereum are clearly committed to evolving it, not walking away when things get hard. Major institutions are quietly tokenizing money market funds and real estate, using Ethereum and regulated platforms. Third, tokenization trends that could matter for Asia. In France, BNP Paribas Asset Management is running a pilot to issue tokenized money market fund shares on a permissioned Ethereum-based system, with tokens held and transferred only by qualified participants under existing regulations. In Dubai, the land department and tokenization firm Control Alt have opened a secondary market for real estate-backed tokens tied to about $5 million worth of properties, recorded on the XRP ledger and held in regulated custody. The idea in both cases is to make traditional assets like cash funds and property more liquid and easier to trade without leaving the regulated financial perimeter. For Southeast Asia, from Singapore to the Philippines, this is a preview of where tokenization is heading. Not just random altcoins, but banks and governments using blockchain rails for regulated assets, which could eventually connect to local exchanges and remittance channels. To sum up today's stories, a major CIO believes Bitcoin has more volatility ahead before a real bottom is in. Vitalik Buterin is pushing radical upgrades instead of letting Ethereum quietly die. And big institutions in Europe and the Middle East are tokenizing money markets and real estate on blockchain platforms. This video is for information and education only and is not financial advice. All investment decisions and risks are your own responsibility. If this video was helpful, please consider subscribing, liking, and turning on the notification bell. Thanks for watching C Crypto Daily Buzz, and I'll see you in the next episode.